Alright, good evening. We're going to try this again. We were going to do a requested flight in the Boeing 737, but game crashed. Actually, my whole computer crashed. That's why the stream ended. Took me a while to get into this flight. We're going to do the World Tour Flight 159. We're going to be flying from here, London Gatwick, up to Dublin, Ireland on Aer Lingus. It's going to be flight 243 in the Airbus A320 Flybywire mod. Yeah, and it took me like 3 or 4 attempts for this to load. Game kept crashing, so I'm hoping the sim doesn't crash again. I'm trying out this new ATC as well. You can see how bad some of this ground traffic is. Really having a hard time. But trying out this new ATC thing. It's called FS HUD, and well, it's new for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So we're here at gate 191, or at pad 191, and we're gonna try that out. I'm gonna throw up get it on the display over there so you guys can kind of see it. There it is. And we're gonna actually set up the flight. So we're gonna start a sim brief flight. Got my username right there. There's a flight. We're gonna keep the call sign. I don't know why we're switching. We're going to change it to Shamrock 243. Yeah, that's exactly what I want it to be. So Shamrock 243. We're going to be taking off 26 left, landing at 28 left in Ireland. We're going to continue. Hey, Mind Lapse. Yeah, I'm just getting into a new flight here because the last one kind of didn't work for some reason. And we're going to just we're going to start the flight here. Saying we're in parking 83, I guess. A lot of different towers we can pick. Looks like we can pick almost any tower in the world here. I'm not sure what is going on here. Before it actually just pulled it up, so I don't know what's going on. We're going to Dublin. We're gonna see how this works, but we're gonna get the plane set up and then we'll keep going with that. Hopefully the sim doesn't crash again. I'm dying on frame rate here, but we're in a plane that I can get set up quickly, so it's not as big a deal. Parking brake is on. Ground spoilers and flaps are retracted. Ignition switches at normal, engine 1 and 2 power or master switches in the off position. Turn on the integrated lighting. I believe it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evening, in sim here. We're gonna be taking off around 5:30 or so. Thrust is in the idle position. Turn up the display brightness. Which transatlantic crossing? Yeah, you can make a flight. If you have a flight request you'd like to see, we could do that at some point. Yeah, I'll have to give it a test again. It's been a while since I've used the A330. Landing gear is down. Nose wheel steering is on. With the glare shield, turn these brightnesses up before we turn everything on. And going up here, wipers are in the off position. Overhead integrated lighting on. Battery 1. Battery 2. And external power. Alright, turn up these screens so we can see what's going on. Alright, back up top. Where's my There it is. Alright, external power on. Strobe lights set to auto. Crew supply on. Ground control on. Nav 1, 2, 3 for the adheres. Do our fire test, APU. Engine 2. Engine 1. And back down here, seatbelt signs are going to remain in the off position until refueled. No smoking auto, emergency lights armed. Back over to the fly pad. OFP 5289 for our fuel. So we're going to go 5300. And it's not going to take too long. Fuel that up. Go to checklists. Alright. Let's see. And we can actually, let's call for our flight clearance.
Gatwick clearance, Shamrock 243, parking 83, request clearance to Dublin. With information, Lima.
Shamrock 243, clear to Dublin via Newton X-ray departure. Runway 26 left, initial climb 4000, then as filed, squawk 6547.
Cleared to Dublin via Nova 1 X-ray departure. Runway 26 left, initial climb 4000, then as filed, squawk 6547. Shamrock 243.
Shamrock 243, red back correct. When ready, contact Gatwick ground 121.8.
When ready, contact Gatwick ground 121.8. Shamrock 243.
Alright, so I don't love the... Alright, so Gatwick... Can I change this? There we go. Gatwick ground is 12800. There it is, Gatwick. Huh? So weird. I don't know what these are over here. Is there like a way to just change it? What is this? Kind of weird. Oh, that's the one I already had right there. Oh. Yeah, how do I set what I want to set it to? Really weird. It automatically actually does that, but kind of weird thing. The voices are kind of weird. They kind of sound like they're Australian. I don't know why I'm not hearing the other planes right now. So I was hearing them before when we were doing that Cairns flight, trying to do that one. After Dublin, we were going to be going up to Iceland, but tonight we're just going to Dublin, and then I'll be for the night. Tomorrow I'm going to try to do that Australian flight again, but maybe get the Iceland one in. We'll see what happens. It's a busy day tomorrow. So we're going to go... I have no idea what all this is. That's weird. Here we have like different flights, all the flights that it is... looking at right now. Settings. Alright. So we are cleared for 4000. Squawk 6547. It's in there. It's also in our thing right on the actual plane. What else was I looking at? The Navmix 1X departure, which is really cool. Runway 26 left. So it actually gets the departure and everything clears us exactly according to Sim Brief. So pretty cool there. So let's jump in here and we're going to start getting the passengers on board. Weights and balances. Send the request. We have 171 passengers and here they come on board. And I don't have Aer Lingus music, so I'm going to go over here and get the boarding music turned on. I was going to start up some PackX. No, Iceland, we're going to the Faroe Islands, and then we'll be going back to Iceland, then to Greenland, back to Iceland, and then Iceland to Canada. But if you do have a flight request, give me a flight request at some point. Doesn't have to be anything on this world tour. The world tour is its own thing. But if you want to fly somewhere else, try to keep them, again, depending on the length of the flight is when I'm going to be able to do it, and if I can fit it in. So, let's see, where are we? We are doing Pack X. I'm starting that up in the background. This flight's going to be about an hour, so a shorter one right here. You know, 171 passengers. We're going to give them Wi-Fi. Customs card is required, I believe. Go to that. All right. So let's get our FMS set up. So init page. Oh, because I didn't put in the... Awesome. I can actually do that uplink thing because I didn't put in the final because I'm using the ATC, this FS HUD ATC, and they don't want you to put the final in. So we got our alternate is Echo Golf Golf Papa. That's John Lennon Airport in Liverpool. Our flight number is 243. Cost index is 8. Let's double check all this in our flight plan. Cost index of 8. Cruising altitude 340. Do our flight plan. Echo Golf Kilo Kilo. So here we do have to put in a few things if you do that uplink. We're taking off runway 26 left. That's what we were cleared for. And we're going to be taking the standard instrument departure of Navma 1 X-ray. If I can read. Where are you? And we insert. It's going to take us all the way to Navma. There is a discontinuity between Navma and Nibda. Just clear that. November 14 for the airway to Medog. Lima 18 to Ablin. Another discontinuity. Clear that. And then our arrival at Dublin is runway 28. Left ILS. Via Ablid to X-ray. And no via. Interesting. Oh yeah, there is no via. Alright. I don't think there is. For transition. Okay, insert. Hey Kaipo. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Let me know if I'm saying that right. Alright. So flight plan, radio navigation page. We're gonna go. I'm gonna skip that for now. I'm gonna go back to init. We're gonna go page 2. We're gonna get our trip wind in. That's gonna be right here. It's gonna be the wind or average WC -28. So that means we have a headwind of 28 knots on this trip. We're also fueled up, so 5.3 on board for fuel. Go back down here. We go to our performance page, and we have already the transition altitude 6,000. We're going to add these in. Flaps we're going to keep at 1 for takeoff. Alright, cool. Typo. I'm going to put this away for now. I'll need that. I'm going to pull up the performance cap. Why is that so big? Why? Why?
Oxford ground 6639.
Don't touch that!
10. Request taxi. 6639er. Taxi to holding point. Runway 11 via Bravo. Taxi to holding point. Runway 11 via Bravo. 6639er.
You just have that thing stuck on the screen now? What is going on?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to welcome you aboard our flight. When you find your seat, please be sure to place your larger carry-on items in the overhead bin
Oh, there.
and smaller items underneath.
Oh,
the
that's...
front of you.
I know what's going on. I'm showing the display.
Place all of your items in the overhead bin.
Alright, so I don't want to do that. Okay.
If you have any trouble finding a location for your carry-on items, please let a flight attendant
So you
know.
actually heard the ATC there talking
After
to
you put your carry-on items in
some
the
of the different-
overhead bin and it is full, make sure you close it as a courtesy to
different,
other passengers. Also be sure that the
planes.
aisle
I
is
don't know if
clear
this
and
is...
sit down so that way
I don't know
other
what it's talking to or who we're hearing, which is weird. Hey, Bulldog Blitz. So I'm still trying to figure this out. I don't know how to actually change the ground. I think I actually can do it manually. 1, 2, 1. Let's do this manually, see if it fixes the problem.
We ask that larger electronic devices are stowed once you depart from the gate. Thank you and welcome aboard.
There we go.
6639er. Contact Oxford Tower 133.42. Contact Oxford Tower 133.25. Contact
Oh, we can actually listen to two
127.15.
things at the same time.
Benson Tower 127.15 2925.
Benson Tower. Really weird. I don't get why it's going Benson and Oxford, what all that's about. So there's a little something wrong there. A little bit confused. Yeah, I heard the don't do that too. That was probably Bulldog. Alright. So we got the passengers coming on. We got everything put in to the computer that we can do right now. What is it? FS HUD. And it's something that's available, I believe, for Prepared 3D and maybe for X-Plane, but now they've just brought it over to Microsoft Flight Simulator. It is payware, but at least when I was starting my flight in Cairns, it looked pretty good. Yeah, the voices can use some work, but otherwise it sounds like it's supposed to be very, very good offline. You know, obviously you still need an internet connection. You know, just like with Microsoft Flight Simulator, you need an internet connection, get your scenery and all that. But you're offline. You're not on VATSIM or something, and so it should perform better than the in-game ATC. I'm a little confused though about why it's Oxford ground and Benson ground right now. I'm a little confused with that. Right up here was when we were getting our clearance, and it all worked really nice. It kind of had a Australian accent, it sounded like, which was kind of weird. But you know, maybe at some point they can get better, the voices better. But as long as we can get good clearances and good, you know, like even this one, it's like when they cleared us, they actually cleared us via the departure, SID. I'm hoping that they give us the runway that we need when we're at like 15,000. They tell us, okay, we're going this runway. It's going to control the traffic. So if you have AI traffic, I'm using AIG, Alpha Indigo Traffic. It will control that. It works with that just fine. As you can see, it is talking to some other planes. Actually, right here, it shows like the different. Okay, so a lot of these are just smaller planes flying right now. Eagle, E-Gun. Yeah, what's going on? There's no... For some reason it's not... Oh, I'm not liking that. Oh, there we go. There we got some things coming out of... Got some Airbuses. I don't know why they're saying that's heavy for an A320. That's not right. But here you got a heavy... Because you got a 747.
You're ready to go when you are.
Yeah, here's the Gatwick stuff. shouldn't be heavy. They shouldn't be called heavy
Good evening,
on all
ladies
these.
and gentlemen, and welcome aboard
These
Flight
A320neos. I don't know if that's just
Service to Dublin. Our flight time
the
is
model it
approximately 1
thinks.
hour. Please
You know,
note
in
that
reality,
passengers
it's in a
now
different
close.
plane or
We
something. I
ask
don't know
that
what's
you
going
make
on
sure
there.
that all devices are in airplane mode
There you
and
go.
larger
Here you can
devices
see the
do not shut down and close.
AIG
If you have not
ones.
already, please fasten
And so they'll talk to
your
them.
seatbelt, verify it is low
I'm
and
not
ready
sure
for
why I
takeoff.
can't hear that
Certain
because
seatbacks must be in the
I'm
full
on the wrong
upright
frequencies or
position for
something.
departure.
I don't know.
Flight attendants, please prepare cabin for departure and cross
But
check.
we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to trying it out, and you know, this is just the first time trying it, so. Let's see, barometric reference. Let's get that in, so we can actually. There's my. A little lost what I'm doing right now. We'll go over here and check it out on FlyPad. It's 1028. Alright, VOR, ADF if required, FCU, altitude, initial altitude 4000, speed as required, heading, dashed, IRS alignment check, we are aligned, the FIS is ARC and 10, flight directors are both on. Let's get that APU started. There's the APU master switch, looking for flap open. Back up top. APU start, and turn on the nav logo light and seatbelt signs. We're gonna go outside and so slow. But this is a very detailed airport and a lot of traffic, so be expected. There's the APU coming up. Right now, drawing my own designed ocean liner called Calponi, a Hawaiian name of California. Alright. Interesting. Turn the APU bleed on. We have the APU. We can actually get the fuel pumps going. And we'll turn off the external power. Back over here, we'll remove ground power unit. See if the passengers are all on board. 15 more passengers to go. Now I'm going to set up our calculator here. We're going runway 26 left, get the metadata, and dry runway, anti-ice off, takeoff weight. We're going to get in a few moments. Air conditioning, keep on. I don't bother turning off the packs in this plane. Obviously in the Boeing 737 you do need to turn off the left and right pack, or you won't be able to start the engine. But at least in the Flybywire Airbus, I don't know how it is in the real one. In the Phoenix one will probably be a little bit more detailed on that. You might have to turn off the packs when you're starting. Well, this actually has nothing to do with packs being on or off when you start. If you're going to have it on while you're taking off, which I think we will. It is. Well, now they're saying the outside temperature is only 13 degrees, so we really don't need to have it on. Okay, passengers are all on board, so we're going to init page. And init page 2, get our zero fuel weight, center of gravity. Takeoff weight is 65.6 tons. Center of gravity is less than 27%. Flex takeoff, climb for thrust, conf 1 plus F, and air conditioning on. Calculate. And we'll go to performance. And we get our V1 speeds. All of our speeds pretty much the same, meaning we can get up to 148 before That's the highest speed we can go, and be able to stop if we need to do emergency stop. It's the same as our rotate speed though, so. And then our V2, 149. I'm not sure what V2 speed is, to be perfectly honest. And 67 is going to be our flex takeoff temperature. Thrust reduction is going to be at 1196 feet. That's when we're going to pull back from flex to climb. So you'll see that flashing up on the screen. We need to pull the lever back to climb. 1196. And that's all we need to get set. It takes forever sometimes. There we go. We can turn on the beacon light. Because we're going to start up the engines. Let's request a pushback.
Gatwick Ground, Shamrock Echo, India, November 243, parking 83, request pushback and start up. Shamrock Echo, India, November 243,
Yeah, I don't like the parking A3, we're out of 131.
Approved. Pushback and start up approved. Shamrock Echo, India, November 243.
The voices aren't great. No, I don't have a pilot's license in real life, my laps. I do not. Alright, we have our pushback clearance, so we're going to put away the performance calculator. I'm going to open up my Navigraphs, take a look at the airport, see which way I want to go, because we are going 26 left. Don't have taxi, but we're going to probably go towards Papa, so I'm going to push back and turn to our left, face the left. So let's call over. Look back, Tug. Where are you? There you are. Oh, my computer is not enough to handle this airport and all these planes. Is the air brake an ATS mod? Can you briefly explain what in fact an air brake is? Air brakes are just your brakes on the semi-truck. Also on the older trucks, or the trucks that have the big, you see the big tanks in front. The ones with the they have the big exhaust, but they'll have those big tanks in front on those, the long noses, the really classic looking trucks. They'll have the big tanks. On the newer trucks, they just have an air intake. And what it is you're taking the air in, and when your brakes are held in place, you have your parking brakes, which are air, and then when you release those, you'll hear like that shh as the air releases to let those brakes go. But also when you are using your service brake, your foot brake, to stop at lights, to stop at stop signs, whatever it is, to slow down, you're using, as you push down that brake, you're using air. That air is being released, and that's, I'm not exactly sure how it works, but that's how your brakes are used. They're air brakes. And if you get under a certain pressure, you'll have no more brakes. That's why you see on, out in Colorado, Interstate 70 with the, steep hills and mountains, steep grades on the highways, there'll be the truck runaway ramps, because that is usually your brakes have gotten too hot because you're using them too much, and that's when you use your Jake brake. You just let the engine slow you down. And then also, if you get too low a pressure, maybe you're pumping your brakes too much and you let out too much pressure, and now you're under what it needs, and that will build up as you have your engine on, and as you're driving you'll never have that issue unless you have an air leak. So air brakes are just your regular, that's a regular system. It's not a mod in ATS, it's just there might be some mods to make it sound more realistic. But yeah, it's just the kind of brakes. That's how the brakes are. Because they're spring brakes, I'm not sure how those are. But you have air brakes are the most common. Yep. Alright, so let's release the parking brake and begin our pushback. We're going to go to ignition and starting engine 2. kind of bummed I can't hear them talking to the other planes right now here at Gatwick, because I just think I have the comms on the wrong thing or something. I'm not sure what's going on there. Very confusing. I want to turn right. Sorry.
Secure the elastic band behind your head, tighten the straps if necessary, and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you're traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask on first and then...
Starting engine 1.
Keep your mask on until a member of the crew advises you to use the room. In the event that the pilot decides to take us for a swim...
Why are you pushing back? Why are you pushing back? Why are you pushing back into me? Don't push back into me. Usually the AI traffic actually stops when it'll usually wait. I don't know why it did that. It's been doing that lately. It's not interacting with me very well. Yeah, just push back into me. Don't worry about the jet. Oh, okay. And now the plane's gone. Ooh, parking brake set. And toggle disconnect.
All of this information and more can be found in the safety card located.
Alright, runway turn off lights on, taxi lights on.
And let us know if you have any questions. Thank you for flying with us, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Let's see, spoilers armed, flaps position 1. Anti-ice if required, auto brake set. We're gonna go max for takeoff. Nose light, taxi, runway turn off lights on. Weather radar on. Predicted wind shear auto. And the lock cockpit doors. Okay, we can go back to normal. And we're gonna request our taxi clearance.
Gatwick ground, Shamrock Echo, India, November 243. Request taxi.
Ah, I changed that.
Shamrock Echo, India, November 243. Taxi to holding point, runway 26
What's
left.
that?
5 kilo, Pop, November Alpha, November, Zulu, Alpha, Alpha, November, Mike. Taxi to holding point, runway 26 left, via kilo, Pop, November Alpha, November, Zulu, Alpha, Alpha, November.
The voices aren't the greatest.
243.
Okay, now I've heard that if we screw up the... Oh, this actually... Oh, that's really cool. That actually shows us our route, I think. See, because it's Kilo, Papa, November. November Alpha. Or maybe that shows us what's in front of us. I'm not sure. You can see right there, it's like 83 meters. So, yeah. We'll see how that goes. I think that gives us a preview where we're going a little bit. Okay, so Kilo, that's where we're at right now. But I've heard that if you go off of the taxi route and you miss a taxi turn, it will break your connection with the ATC. So that's a little concerning because I do miss turns and can get a little difficult in some of these places. But I think we're going to turn right here. This should be Papa right here. That would make the most sense. Yeah.
Ready to go.
Just got British Airways confused as all get out. What are you doing? Alright, so now see, you can see we're on Papa now. And then November Alpha. Oh, that's really cool. How it does that. Oh, okay, Mike is like our final one, and these are all of our waypoints. And it kind of gives us what time we're going to get to that point. And so as we're going through the air, we're going to have our waypoints. That's really cool. Okay, British Airways is just sitting here. Obviously, in real life, we wouldn't be able to clear this wingtip, but we're going to turn here onto November Alpha. then we're going to turn down to November, which is the next taxiway right here. Now, unfortunately, Alpha India group traffic, AI traffic is not perfect. But nothing is in the sim world, I guess. Our test. Okay, we're on November. Zulu is going to be this next one right here. Passing Juliet and turning on to
Gatwick ground,
Zulu.
452.
There we go.
Working. 30. Request pushback and start up.
9075. Contact tower 122.77.
Contact tower 122.77 975.
It's really helpful too that it's right there, so I can know what if I get past this one and I can't see anymore. So our next turn is going to be Alpha, which is going to be this next intersection. I think, yes. Quick turn to Alpha November. Yep, November. Ooh. Kind of does this weird. Yeah, Alpha November goes up here. That's a Victor down there. It's a really weird turn. Why didn't we just go on Mike and then? Oh, should turn there. That's why we don't do the weird jog, because we're turning right here on Mike. A little confusing. And a little bit lost. There it is, Mike, to the runway. Makes sense. There we go. Cabin check here.
Shamrock 243. Contact Gatwick Tower 124.22. Contact Gatwick Tower 124.22. Shamrock 243.
Turn off the APU. Strobe lights, auto. Get our TCAS on.
Gatwick Tower.
So it automatically switches our radio for us.
Runway 26 left.
Kinda
Ready
cool.
for departure.
Yeah, the last flight for today.
243. Line up. Runway 26 left.
Line up. Runway 26 left. Shamrock 243.
Like, I was hoping to do this flight around 2 o'clock after the first flight I did from Gibraltar to here, and then that would have been probably 2:30 more, 2:30, 3 o'clock, and then I was hoping to do the Cairns to Brisbane flight request at about 5, 6 o'clock, and that probably would have been the last flight of the day, maybe.
Shamrock 243. Wind 310 degrees at 3 knots. Runway 26 left. Cleared for takeoff.
Runway 26 left. Cleared for takeoff. Shamrock 243.
Awesome. Pretty good. Let me get up in the air and I'll kind of explain. Yeah, but this is going to be the last flight for today, probably. So we're going to get into our flex spot, and here we go. Positive rate, landing gear up. Egger kills. I don't use FS Economy or APO. What is APO? I did have on fly or whatever that was, but I just don't have time for it. With all the economy and trying to do all that. I have enough time to barely get a couple, 2 or 3 flights in a week. So, no, I don't. Don't use anything economy-wise anymore. Okay, we pulled back the thrust lever to climb. I'm going to just turn off these lights for now. And the spoiler.
Shamrock 243, contact Manchester, center 118.77.
Contact Manchester, Centre 118.77, Shamrock 243. Manchester Centre, Shamrock 243, Nov 1 X-ray departure at 2,900, climbing 4,000.
Shamrock 243, radar contact, continue climb, flight level 130, QNH 1028.
Continue climb, flight level 130, Shamrock 243.
Alright, we'll turn on the autopilot. And that was really cool. So they've cleared us now to 13,000 feet. So that's something the regular ATC struggles to do. And really cool here is the QNH. They give us it in the American inches per inches of mercury or whatever, 30.36. But they also give it, but they'll read it out based on how I have it set. And right now I have the setting set to read out the hectopascals. So we are, here it's saying we're limited to 4,000 feet, but went right over it. Interesting. But that is because they cleared us, and so realistically we can blow past that limit there. We're gonna retract the flaps. This ATC is FS Hub, or FS HUD, not to be
heavy, descend and maintain, flight level 240.
Not to be confused with I can actually,
flight level 240.
really cool, I can actually turn down the volume on these.
Manchester Center 6788 at flight level 60, climbing.
It's FS HUD with a D, dog. Not to be confused with FS Hub, which is basically a forum download website kind of stuff for flight simulators. This was available, I believe, for... Yeah, CC150, I already gave you a follow. I gave you a follow yesterday. And I was trying to give you a raid earlier today, but wasn't able to. So, FS HUD was available, I think, for Prepared 3D. It might have been for X-Plane. I never saw it for X-Plane. I would have loved to have gotten it for X-Plane back in the day. But it's now available to also use with Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's a few things that don't work with Microsoft Flight Simulator that do work in Prepared 3D, but otherwise, so far, I'm liking it. I'm liking this. It's realistic. The planes are going to be flying where they should fly. ATC is going to tell them where to go, where they should go realistically. So it's, kind of exactly what I've been looking for. I would love to, obviously the voices could be better, but otherwise it's really cool. So far. Let's see if they clear us after we get to 13,000 feet. Continue on, because it knows we want to cruise at flight level 340. It knows that, so it's going to clear us, and here it's going to clear us probably to flight level 140, so we can get there to NVIDIA. And I like this. It gives me my all my information right here if you want that. That's really cool. Whole system. You can also just close it. We're going to turn off the landing lights. Seatbelt sign is going to come off. Passengers can roam around the cabin. Look down here. Next point is Navma. We have a plane ahead of us. We got a really good climb. We're already at almost 13,000 feet. Kaipo has your own. You have your own fictional airline. Is it a virtual airline or just a fictional airline? Yeah, it's payware. I think it's about $35. But if you wanna just check it out some more before you try it. I'm gonna be using it on my videos. I bought it. I'm gonna be using it. So far, pretty good. I mean, I had some issues with the sound, but so far it hasn't been bad. Climb and maintain 14,000. Awesome. Just right there, it's telling me to climb. We're not putzing around. You can also hear the other traffic. It will interact with your, if you use, I believe if you use just the AI traffic from Microsoft Flight Simulator, it'll interact with that. It works with Alpha India Group traffic, which I'm using, so you can see all these different planes. Like here, 7666, that's just a small plane flying around. Alright, I maintain flight level 180. Awesome. I'm liking this. It's working the way it should. And if I want to, I can request things. The in-game ATC, you have to go, oh, I want to jump up another 10,000 on the cruise. You know, versus here, I can just say, hey, I want to change my cruise to 36,000 feet. Here, I can say, I want to go direct to this point. Boom, there you go. So, like, Maluhe Ala Nue Airlines, or Ala Nue Airlines, yeah. Fictional airline. Yep, it works with traffic-based mods. You'll have to look. I know it works with Alpha India Group traffic. I'm not sure which other ones it works with out there. If it works with what's the pay one from Aerosoft? I would guess it would, but it might not. So just make sure. But yeah, it works with AI traffic. That's the point. Is that you're gonna get that, but you're also gonna like. I love that right there. 208, proceed direct to Lima Alpha Mike. It's telling them to go to certain places. And they're responding. The thing with the in-game ATC is like they'll tell them to do come on, don't freeze and crash on me. Okay. They won't. You'll never hear them respond. Usually the other airlines, the ATC will tell them to do something. And right now this is awesome. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit so we can hear it. With the ATC, I don't know. This is my first flight using it, so that'd be really cool to see if they give us a hold or something, or a diversion. Obviously I've done holds, but they're usually my own decision to do a hold because of altitude or whatever. But yeah, that'd be cool if they give us holds and go. I mean, I've had the go arounds from in-game ATC, and usually I ignore them because I'm sure I'll get a go around here, because usually if you have a plane landing ahead of you, the Alpha India Group traffic is notorious for taking forever to get off the runway. So really cool. Climb and even the calls. Climb and maintain flight level 220, contact Bournemouth approach. So it's like with the climb, they're doing a whole string versus just climb and maintain, and then later contact Bournemouth. It's all one. And again, the response, it's awesome. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Let me know if it's too loud on the FS HUD. That's the cool thing, is I have it turned down, but I can also adjust it in game actually. So, well, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for something off, quote unquote offline, because we're always online now, grabbing all this weather information and the scenery. But an offline where I'm not on VATSIM, where I can have AI ATC, and the in-game ATC is terrible. And people have been saying someone was suggesting Pilot's ATC. I'm so glad I didn't get Pilot's ATC, because then this was recommended to me just today on my last video. Someone in the comments on YouTube recommended it. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna check it out, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. We're locked in at 1,800 feet. I think that's because we're waiting to get to Kennett, and then so I guess that's how it's going. Cool little step climbing here, actually.
Radar contact. Continue climb. Flight level 100.
So I like it. Yeah. So far, yeah, it's working perfectly. I was a little confused when selecting here. It's like, I wish you could just put in, or you can actually put in the frequency, but it doesn't always. I'm not sure what's going on here. Like here, it's Benson. I don't know what's going on with the ground. So a little weird, but right now it's working. We're in Manchester Center. We're getting the calls. We're hearing other planes and everything. So. Yeah, well, VATSIM, the great thing here is you don't have to make the call outs. basically it's doing it all for you. You don't have to. Obviously, you're not saying the words. But I think this one will be a good way to kind of learn, because it looks like it's pretty accurate the way you'd be making the calls. More so than the in-game ATC so far. And
heavy, climb and maintain, flight level 250, contact.
But also, yeah, VATSIM. The cool thing about VATSIM, it is real people, real voices. Things can come up and they can change things. But it's intimidating when you first start out and you are making all the calls yourself with your own voice, and they're calling and you got to listen, repeat, and it is obviously very realistic, obviously. But the biggest problem for me is that I'm just gonna look at. Let me pull up Volanta for overall. I'm going to pull up Volanta for myself. If I look on Volanta, cool thing with Volanta, I have it set that just a flight tracking software, if you don't know what Volanta is, and you can actually set the map build track, like what things are on VATSIM, like what areas are covered. And right now, no one is doing anything in Europe right now. Everyone's sleeping or at work or whatever it is. There's a little bit of activity in America, but otherwise not much going on, much VATSIM coverage in where I'm flying. And so if I'm on VATSIM, I'm not getting ATC anyway right now. So yeah, great alternative. I'm very excited about it. So it's gonna be so much fun doing these flights now. Oops. That away. Back over here.
Shamrock 243, climb and maintain, flight level 200.
Climb and maintain, flight level 200, Shamrock 243.
7666, climb and maintain, flight level 220, contact Bournemouth, approach 119.47.
Yep, exactly. So this is going to be perfect to do, for you to just fly whenever, wherever, and you got ATC, and it's good ATC. It's $35, but I think if you do a lot of flying, and the way it looks, I'm guessing, because it's not simulator based, so it's not like I bought the Microsoft Flight Simulator version of FS HUD. It's kind of like right now I'm using PAC-X for my passengers.
Shamrock 243, climb and maintain, flight level 250, contact Rise, radar 119.0.
Climb and maintain, flight level 250, contact Rise, radar 119.0, Shamrock 243.
So let me bring up
Rise radar, Shamrock 243, inbound Douglas, at flight level 200.
This is PAC-X right here, and I'm gonna
flight level 250.
turn down my volume a little bit. I love it. I love it. We're talking to Bryce radar. I have no idea Bryce. But here's PAC-X, and it's a passenger simulation. I actually have two different passengers. There's also self-loading cargo. This one works really good with Microsoft Flight Sim right now. And like in here, it's got all these passengers on here and give you information about their age, how thirsty and hungry they are. The names, I love the names because the names are localized for the most part. Though again, you'll get some random names like people traveling. But here you got some Fitzes because obviously we're in the UK, O'Toole. We're flying to Ireland also, so you're going to get those kind of Irish names. Really cool, and keeps track of you can have like a career and keep track of your stats a little bit. You can actually make call outs. Well, this is actually, I don't want to do that. We can do like interactions, like we're ahead of schedule, we have a delay, a diversion. We can do this. I want a drink.
Hey, can we get something to drink up here?
Did you hear that? Martin Davies. We can do, and it actually, with this plane, it actually interacts. So if I turn on the seatbelt sign, you'll hear the flight attendants tell them.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flight
Are you able to hear that? They'll tell them to turn on put their seatbelts on. If I turn it off, they'll say they've turned off the seatbelt sign. And actually, when we're descending and on approach, I don't have any control over this. If I try to turn off the seatbelt signs, they'll automatically turn it back on. Cool cargo mods. I don't know of any cargo mods, really. I mean, the cool thing with, yeah, basically cargo, I don't think there's really any cargo mods out there. You just gotta, you know, if you're doing a cargo flight, I guess on Sim Brief, where you put a lot of cargo on it. Yeah, I don't know.
Flight level 290, contact Manchester, return 118.77.
Really liking that. I don't know why we're going back to Manchester Center. I guess we're kind of floating back into that area. What's on my center now?
Manchester Center, Shamrock 243, inbound Douglas at flight level 250, climbing flight level 290.
Shamrock 243, radar contact, continue climb, flight level 290.
Continue climb, flight level 290, Shamrock 243. Manchester Center, 5262, initial departure at 2000.
What jet are you using? Are you using the PMDG like 737? Because those you do have to actually remove them. Otherwise, I do think they stay attached. I'm not sure. Yeah, Oliver. This is FS HUD. It's a payware, $35. But yeah, offline ATC, AI ATC, and it's really good. It's clearing me as we go. It even has a little thing showing me my next waypoints and flight levels are going to be at. And then obviously it's talking to other planes. You can look here, you can actually see the different traffic that's around, that it's dealing with. It works with Alpha India Group traffic. Unfortunately, some of them there's some issues with call signs for some reason. So yeah, I'm not sure why Speedbird. That's unfortunate. All the Speedbirds are messed up. So that's why you see like these flights, even this TUI and Scandinavian's working, but like here British Airways it's just 2626. It should be Speedbird. So I don't know how to fix that. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with that. Some of the whizzes and stuff. I'm guessing that's something probably in AIG that they don't have this correct, and so this program is not understanding Speedbird as two different words, maybe? I don't know. So, but here you got the easy A37 that's working. No big deal. So I'm really enjoying it so far. First flight ever using it. We were gonna fly Australia. Oh, sorry. I actually have this. I don't have it so you can see it, Oliver. There it is. So you can see the waypoints coming up, telling us how far we are, what time we're gonna get there. That's pretty cool. That's telling me we're gonna get. Oh, it's all in. I think it's all in sim time though. Yeah, it's in sim time. So we are about 30 minutes out from our arrival. Agri-Kills, you're using the 737 from PMDG. Yeah, you got to make sure you go into the flight computer and go to FS, I think FS config or whatever, FS setup, and remove stairs, remove this, remove that. Yeah, Fly with Aldo. Yeah, sorry, I turned off my display. Yoda Golf Life, thanks for the subscription. I believe it's on YouTube. Thank you. My sound effects for some reason aren't working, at least on my end, for the notification, so I'm not hearing that. Awesome, look at this. They're already telling me so this is a big thing, the big problem with the in-game ATC. Right here, Manchester Center. I'm going to turn this up so you can hear it when they tell us these things. Manchester Center, Shamrock 243, expect Ably 2X arrival, ILS approach, runway 28 left, report when ready for descent. Okay, so we actually kind of are in charge of descent. They're not going to climb us further? So supposed to go up to 340. I guess they're just not going to clear us up there. Yep, that's the arrival I chose. That's on the sim brief plan, and so yeah, I don't, not 100% sure. So I'm guessing we'll probably hit this when I'm ready to descend. So what we're gonna do is put in. Yeah, it's not letting me. They're not gonna let me go beyond flight level 290, which is kind of funny because I did ask for 340, but I mean, basically, top of descent is after Meddog, so basically on top of it anyway. Get up and then come down again. So I'm going to actually create a fixed point for our 29,000 target altitude today. Gonna be let's see. We're gonna do Peacock, which is gonna be 7,000 feet. So 70 miles we'll do about. So go here. Fix info. Peacock. $70 nautical miles. And that's going to give us, that's where we should start descending. So we could have probably gotten up to 34,000. I'm not sure why they didn't clear us up there. But yeah, so far this is exactly what I want. I want to know what's my... I do hope that it can change, that it's not locked in, that if the weather changes and they decide to change the runway change, again, this is my first flight. Most flights it's going to be exactly what you got on the ground, but I'm hoping it does sometimes change, like, oh, we're going to give you a different runway than you were expecting where you started. Hey, Fly with Aldo, thank you for the subscription. I'm thinking, especially on longer flights, it'll probably be more likely if we do like a 12-hour flight or a 6-hour flight, 12-hour flight. The weather could change, so we're thinking, oh, okay, we're going to come in on runway whatever, 18, and then the winds change, and now we're coming in on runway runway 0 or 36, whatever, right? Because the winds are going the opposite direction now by the time we get over there. So that'd be cool to see. But this is exactly, usually when you're interacting with real ATC or VATSIM ATC, they're telling you well in advance, before, like even before you start descending probably, what your expected arrival is going to be, expected star, runway. That way you can get it in the system and all that. And in-game ATC, I've had so much problems with that where I'll be on my short final basically for my planned arrival, and they'll be like, oh yeah, we want you to do the opposite runway or the cross runway, and I'm like, there's no way I can get on the approach now. I'm gonna have to basically do a go around and start my whole flight over the way you're setting me up here. Jump in here, get the metadata for our arrival. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed that it took me so long. I wanted to fly about like 7 o'clock, 7:30, and had the sim crash. And I think by the time we finally got into this flight, it was 8:30 or so. So lost a flight today. But part of that was also practicing with my wife driving. She's got her driving test tomorrow, so maybe after that I'll be able to do a quick flight in the evening, because I'll have to get to bed at my normal bedtime, because I'm back to work on Thursday. Alright, so you can actually see our descent coming up. company message. So we'll go right back here, received messages, Medar, print that out. Well, that's good that you found a solution. Yeah, the crashes for me are pretty random. Like today had no problem on the first flight, and then was loading in, was getting set up for the Cairns flight, and my whole computer crashed. I got a blue screen, and so that killed the whole stream. And then when I was trying to set up for this flight, I kept loading in, and it kept crashing. So finally, I loaded into another airport. It was fine. Then I loaded into a different gate here or at Gatwick, and it finally loaded in, and we're so far doing okay. Alright, so we'll go performance. Where is it? There it is, approach. Let's see, there's the wind, so 270 at 12 knots. Got a few clouds at, what is that, 900 feet? Broken clouds at 3200, 15 degrees. QNH 1028. Transition altitude 6000. Approach speed is going to be 132. Minimums on this approach. Bring up the Navigraph. Why did it change the size of... Why did all my... Weird. Let me fix that. I don't know why my stuff, my graphics, decided to just randomly change size. Hopefully that's big enough for you guys to see. Where is it? Navigraph for me, so I can see. Get on the approach chart. So there's that transition. It should be 5,000. Put that in. Thanks for the subscription, Agri-Kills. 5,000 minimum. There's our ILS 111.35, India Delta Whiskey, course 278. Dublin, there's the Dublin VOR. And we're going to capture the glide slope at 2,500 feet at MaxEv. And here's our minimums. Usually we're clear, so it's going to be a Cat 3 probably. So that's our minimum 50, but I usually like to put in the Cat 1, which is the highest. Make our decision to land at 402 feet. And we're all set with that information. I hate the drone camera tipping over like that. As we are just about to leave Britain, the Isle of Britain, across the Irish Sea. Yeah, people lost their minds when Flybywire added in the printer. That happened months ago now. Alright, overview, arrival, instructions. Awesome! It even gives us the parking, where we want to park. Oh, that's really cool. So, yeah, we'll go to parking. What was that? Parking 42? Unfortunately, it's not matching up with what's in real life, though. So that's a little bit. Let's see what else. Can't expect everything to be perfect though. Based on whatever. Yeah, I don't know. That's gonna be messed up. Yeah, we can actually change this stuff if we want. Transition. Oh, okay, cool. We'll apply that.
Expect A32NX arrival ILS approach runway 28 left. Report when ready for descent. Shamrock 243.
Yeah, this is our free plane. Yep.
Manchester Center 6Q10 at flight level 100.
Shamrock 243 ready for descent.
Shamrock 243 proceed direct landing, descend and maintain flight level 200.
Proceed direct landing, descend and maintain flight level 200. Shamrock 243.
802 radar contact. Proceed direct Sierra Tango.
Yeah, this is the Flybywire mod for the default Airbus that came with the sim. the Airbus A320neo.
Radar contact. Expect uniform light Oscar Lima 1 Bravo. Arrival.
Alright, so we're gonna turn on the seatbelt signs.
Approach. Runway 09.
Let's see. How the heck am I supposed to make those long deliveries on time if I have to rest along the way? Oh, an ATS? Yeah, ATS is... It all depends on how you do it. Like, if you know my videos, I was trying to do the realistic, you know, do the 30-minute break, you know, 11 hour. You can only drive 11 hours a day. It doesn't work because of the way the time dilation works. So, I mean, one thing you can do is you can just turn off a fatigue simulation and rest when you want to. I don't, you know, or you know, do your rests, but do them as it's. I got that. That was a frustration I was having with that game. Hey, Andre, Marketing Digital, boa noite aqui do Brazil. Oh, hello. Hello from Brazil. Thank you. Looking forward to getting down there. That's going to be coming up pretty soon. We're going to be doing a little bit of Iceland, Faroe Islands, Greenland coming up here, but then we'll be over to Canada, U.S., Mexico, down into South America. And we'll be flying into Brazil pretty soon. Stephen O'Mahony, what's good? Nice view of the air. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't been really paying attention to the scenery because we've been playing with this excellent solution for the in-game or for the ATC. Alright, so we're descending to flight level 110, which is 11,000 feet.
Flight level 200, contact radar 120.05.
Proceed direct uniform Mike Oscar Lee Oscar. Descend and maintain. Flight level 200. Contact Hotas. Radar 120.05. Easy 428.
Coming up on Ireland.
X393 at 1,600. Climbing. Flight level 80.
Manchester Center 1281. Mike India Delta 31 Echo. Departure at 2,400. Climbing. Flight level 100.
1281. Radar contact. Continue climb. Flight level 100. QN8 1029.
Continue climb. Flight level 100. 1281.
Are you saying Ireland looks weird? Oops. Yeah, turn off that. I need to change my... Let's see, can I do a... I think, yeah, what is that? Oh no, that's off on my right. That is that's still actually Wales, and further off in the distance would be Liverpool. Let's see, go on the other side. Yeah, we can't see basically once we see Ireland, we're gonna be right on top of Dublin. Still on Manchester Center.
Shamrock 243, cleared A32NX X-ray, arrival.
cleared A32NX. Arrival, Shamrock 243.
Alright, so we're coming up. We're going to have some slowdowns here. We're going to have a max speed at Sivna of 230 knots. Currently on our way to next waypoint is Urkum. And we need to still be above our, basically our floor is flight level 9,000 feet. Lipko, the next point, that we're going to have to slow down to 240. But about that point we should be crossing around 10,000 feet. So we'll be getting down to 250, 240. Plane should do that automatically. Alright, so we are cleared for the A32 X-ray arrival. Awesome. Bring that up for you guys if you want to kind of see it. What's really cool is you can actually have COM 1. So this is COM 1, but you can also set COM 2, so you can actually be listening to two comms at the same time. The only problem is I'm not sure how to. Actually, these towers are making more sense for some reason. Like finding Gatwick was a pain in the butt. I guess you kind of got to know what your towers you're looking for actually. Oliver Smith went to the beach, did some helicopter sporting. If you search up Zuma Beach Heli, you'll find an old video to give you an idea. Just the difference was I was closer. Interesting. Oh, helicopter, I'm guessing it's meant helicopter spotting. Well, now it's saying Lapmo, flight level 110.
02, proceed direct Foxtrot India Foxtrot Alpha Hotel.
Proceed direct Foxtrot India Foxtrot Alpha Hotel 8802.
Alright, we do have those speed restrictions already in there. We have the floors. So Lipko, the plane will automatically go down to 240. Sivna will automatically go down to 230. Going forward, we'll get down to 180 and the floor of 3,000 feet for Lapmo. And hopefully we'll be down at that point. Let me check. We do not have a hold point. So we'd have to make our own hold, request a hold if we need to descend more or something.
Shamrock 243, descend and maintain, flight level 110.
Descend and maintain, flight
already
level 110.
there.
Shamrock 243.
Oh, don't do me like this. Don't do me like this, FS HUD. I'm at flight level 110. Give me that next clearance. There's Ireland. Oh yeah, they're definitely different. I'd love to do some more plane spotting. It's kind of funny because every time we practice driving, my wife wants to drive down near where the DMV is, and that's on the down near the airport here in Milwaukee. So I can see the planes coming in. I'm always getting distracted. I'm like, oh, there comes a Southwest. Oh, there's a Frontier. There's a Delta. And she's like, how can you tell? I'm like, because I can see the tail. Like, you know, I guess I just have good eyesight. Hey, Prayer Warriors, long time no see. Mostly my problem. Mostly my fault. But we're back doing this. Hopefully we'll get another flight in tomorrow. I really hope. I want to get another flight in. And I definitely want to use this awesome FS HUD ATC some more. Oh, it's working. It's working perfectly right now. This is so fun. Descend and maintain 7,000 feet, and then contact the approach. Awesome. Look at that. Perfect. No more of that terrible in-game ATC. Only cost me 35 bucks, but
radar contact. Continue descent. Flight level 70.
Continue descent. Flight level 70.
you can see the speed has gone down to 240 knots. We're about 10,000 feet, so I'm going to start throwing on the landing lights. Seatbelt signs are on. Quickly do this. Yep, same Q and H.
Valdoral approach.
I can see a freeway sign and I can see the planes. I'm always telling my wife, it's like, you gotta read the signs. It's gonna help you a lot. Awesome, we got a KLM coming in. Oh, they're climbing, they're departing. Alright, that's cool. Now, we're having some issues where the call signs aren't working. You can see like the timetable here. You know, Shamrock, Ryanair, but then there are some that are just numbers. And some of them should be like here, Coca-Cola. Well, that's a Gulfstream. That's actually pretty cool. But here, some of them, they just don't know the call sign. Like British Airways, for some reason, they can't get Speedway. Or Speedbird, for some reason. So, I might have to do something to fix that. So far, it's been awesome. Well, I switched to day shift Prayer Warrior, so that, and I got sick towards the end of May, and so I missed basically after May 16th. That was my last stream in May, and for a while, and then I early June flipped to day shift, so that's been awesome. But getting, you know, now I'm available to do more things during the day, and I have to go to my days off are usually spent in the day, and then it's a little bit harder to stream at night or find the time to stream. But I'm hoping I can stream more like I did today. Maybe start around 11 in the morning, do streaming all day, something. All depends on what happens. We've been doing house hunting, and yeah, I've been working 60 hours a week day shift. So, but here I have a 5-day weekend somehow, and I was hoping to get a lot more flights in. But it's 4th of July, so you're doing family things. My wife is practicing her driving for her road test. Obviously, the baby, he's 6 months old and is much more of a handful than he was before. VATSIM's great. It's a little bit more work. I mean, here I'm not doing anything. This program's talking to ATC. You can see right here, Q. I love this Q and H. It gives me in both. So if I am doing the inches, I can see it. Alright, we're descending to 3,000 feet. Awesome. Everything's going to plan. We got an Ethiopian Heavy leaving. Awesome. Rio de Janeiro, Paulo. Yeah, we're gonna be flying. I don't know if I'm flying to Rio de Janeiro. If you're asking if I've ever been to Brazil, no. If you're asking if we're gonna fly to Brazil, we will be flying. I don't know if I'm flying into Rio de Janeiro or Sao Paulo. But that will be coming up on the world tour, and if you do want me to do a flight to Brazil or in Brazil or whatever, you can always throw a flight request and we'll get around to it at some point. Yep, but Prayer Warriors, yeah, I think things are starting to slow down a little bit, getting into the flow of things. We're closing on a house on the 28th, so I'll be a little bit busy with that, but this weekend it seemed I had a little bit more time, didn't have to do a ton of stuff with all that, so that's nice. Alright, we are getting pretty close here. 3,000. Actually, I want to pull up on my other screen my charts. Alright, so we're going to be max 180 knots and floor of 3,000 at our next waypoint. Right in front of us is Dublin.
Radar contact. Expect Golf Alpha Mike Delta Oscar ILS. Approach runway 21. Report when ready for descent.
Expect Golf Alpha Mike Delta Oscar ILS. Approach runway 21. Report when ready for descent. 6517.
37901. Climb and maintain flight level 250.
Climb and maintain flight level 250. 37901.
Yep, haven't made those flights in Brazil yet. So World Tour, that's coming up. The Brazil flights are going to be coming up probably in a couple months, I would say, depending on how many flights I get in. Alright, let's turn this down. little bit too loud for me. Typically the flights are between an hour and 2 hours.
Rock 243, cleared ILS. Approach at 3000. Runway 28 left. Report established on localizer.
Not right now, we're not going back to China. So we're renting out the apartment over there, so that'll be nice. I think we'll only be on the hook for $100 a month now for that. So, yeah, I don't know what the long-term plans are, but right now China, you know, is still kind of, you know. Perfect. We just need to get slowed down to 180 knots, so we're going to start doing that manually.
Level 320, contact center 121.7.
Go flaps 1.
Maintain flight level 320. Contact center 121.7.
Yeah, so here I have to actually report established on localizer once we are. Yeah, but Cali, flights are typically 1 to 2 hours. We had a couple that were about 2.5 just recently, flying from London to Gibraltar and then Gibraltar and back. Both of those are about 2.5 hours. Gonna have coming up pretty soon. We're gonna be going Iceland to Canada. That one's gonna be about 6 hours, so that's gonna be a long one. And when we get out to the Pacific, there's gonna be quite a few longer ones. I think once I get into the Americas, I'm doing some more 3 to 4 hour flights, so there'll be a few more longer ones coming up, but typically they're 1 to 2 hours, and once we're doing the island hopping in the Caribbean, they'll be maybe half an hour. Our apartment. Houses go for, you know, $1 million over there, but they are kind of like these weird mansion kind of things. Alright, we are going to get established on the approach. Alright, our approach speed is 132. Almost missed the glide slope. Didn't have the my ILS on. Alright, so localizer is established.
Shamrock 243.
And glide slope is captured.
Shamrock 243, contact Dublin, Tower 118.6.
Contact Dublin Tower.
Have all our flaps.
118.6. Shamrock 243.
We're going medium auto brake. Ground spoilers armed.
243 on final.
Landing lights on, seatbelt signs on.
Shamrock 243, continue approach.
Landing gear down.
Continue approach. Shamrock 243.
2,500.
See the runway right in front of us. Wow, 250,000. The house we just bought is 255,000, and probably it's a house that before this crazy market would have been like 140,000. But in China, it's much more expensive. But my wife's mortgage is only like, you know, she got a 15-year and only paying like $400 a month. So it's really weird. It was front loaded how it was paid, so she was paying a little bit more than that per month earlier on. So that's gonna be paid off pretty soon in like the next 3 or 4 years, I think.
Ryanair 288, contact Baldonal, approach 122.0.
Kaipo is planning first flight Sim Air World Cruise. Okay. Yeah, but our apartment, I think the apartment was probably $100,000 to $150,000 plus, but that's just the block apartment, like concrete walls. Yeah, we also had to spend a bunch of money, which we borrowed from our relatives to like put up plaster, put in the kitchen and the cabinets and the stove and everything, put in light fixtures and everything. It just basically all you get is just the concrete walls when you buy an apartment over there. $1,200 a month to rent, because we're going to be paying about $1,700 on our mortgage a month. So, but again, that's the rates just kind of went up, and What the heck? Oh, I'm reading that Shamrock 243 wind 270 degrees at 14 K. I thought it said 14K, not cleared to land, and I'm like, oh, cleared to land. It's really cool. They give us a little wind shot here. So it's blowing. We're getting crosswind 19 knots. Really cool. Let's do our cabin check.
1,000.
Well, they didn't go up to like 10, 15%. I mean, like when my parents bought their house, you know, years ago, it was like 10%. So, oh yeah, going from 2 to 5 is, but, and of course now everything's starting to cool down, but that's just kind of how it goes, I guess. I knew it was going to do that. It's like as soon as I buy something, it's gonna, the prices are all gonna kind of
500.
correct.
$400. $300.
Yep. Yeah, it's really killing people who are building houses and their
Minimum
house building has been delayed.
$100. 50.
Oh, get down.
40. 30. 20. Retard.
Shamrock 243, vacate right
kinda
to
floating
Echo 5. When vacated, contact ground 121.8.
Vacate right with Echo 5. When vacated, contact ground 121.8. Shamrock 243.
Alright, vacating Echo 5. Turn.
Dublin ground.
There we go.
Shamrock 243. Runway vacated with Echo 5.
The local
Shamrock 243. Taxi to parking 42. By Echo 5. Bravo. Mark 2. Taxi to parking 42. By Echo 5. Bravo. Mike 2. Shamrock 243.
Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bin, as items may have shifted during the flight. We thank you for flying with us.
I do that because I want to manually land it, but yeah, I've never tried it with having the auto throttle on the whole way. I mean, I've done it with the autopilot and auto throttle and just on the auto land, but let's see, what are your settings at? Oh, for my sim, I have them at a high for the most part. Let me see. Yeah, I don't have that on my screen yet. Alright, I need to figure out where Echo 5 is. I think we're on Echo 5. Yeah, we're on Echo 5. Echo 5. Echo 5 Bravo? What the heck is Bravo? There's no Bravo.
Ground, Shamrock 528, parking 191.
Well,
Request push
I guess
back
we're going to kind of get
southbound.
lost here because there is no
Shamrock
Bravo.
528. Push back
This is the
to
problem when
Florida.
you have
Pushback
you're looking at a
southbound
map
approved. Shamrock
for the
528.
airport and
Dublin ground, Shamrock
the in-game
528.
is all
Request
different.
taxi.
Shamrock 528. Taxi to holding point. Runway 28 left. 5 Lima India November Kilo 4 Foxtrot 3 Foxtrot 2 Echo 1.
Taxi to holding point. Runway 28 left. Via Lima India November Kilo 4 Foxtrot 3 Foxtrot 2 Echo 1. Shamrock 528.
Alright, so we're on... Oh, the signs are right, though. So we're going Bravo, and then... Did it say Mike 2?
Heavy. Contact Dublin Tower 118.6. Contact Dublin Tower 118.6.
No, I don't have any dad jokes. Mike 2, Mike 2, where's Mike 2? This is not very helpful. Should be W Whiskey 2, really. The problem with this airport, so we really didn't actually go the right place. Does it want me to go on the west apron? Yeah, it's kind of hard to. I guess we'll park over here. It's even telling me like what direction I should go there, so that's kind of helpful. Wants me to park over here for some reason. Eh, why not? This is not a very great airport. Needs a lot of work. I'm sure there's a payware one that fixes all these problems. Some airports are really good, some are straight up trash, and this is one of the straight up trash ones. Hey, Bleeping. Yep, been a while. But finally back in. Got some free time and not completely overwhelmed with stuff. Yeah, autogen nightmare here. Plus there's big holes, the terrain dips all over the place in this airport. So, like I said, I like going to Gatwick. Fortunately, Gatwick is just too much on the system, but you know, Zurich is a really good one. That's the one that Azobo updated. Alright, on. Our parking brake is on. Let's see. That'll be fun. I'll do a USA tour. I've always wanted to do a USA tour, but I think I'm going to kind of bring that back and we'll kind of intersperse them as we go.
Taxi to holding point. Runway 34. Leave India November Kilo 1. Bravo Echo 1. Shamrock 638.
Oops. Just have some mysterious. I didn't turn on the APU. Oh, I guess we have external power. So, yeah. Let's see if we actually have external power. Watch this. We're gonna turn the engines off. The whole plane's gonna shut down. Usually, when you exit the runway, you turn on the APU. Forgot to do that. I'll turn this off. Oh, that's wow. Yeah, that always sucks when they have when you buy you pay for something and there's a big giant problem with it. You know, obviously the free ones, it's like, yeah, okay. There's an issue right here. Guess I turned the engine off wrong. I usually don't get this sound. Alright. Beacon light off. Passengers can depart. Sim launched. Awesome. Let's see. How's it been going? Yeah, it's been going well. I got sick towards the end of May and was just, you know, when I did have time off, I was just sleeping. Let's close this flight plan. Awesome. So that is really cool. The ATC. Plane is just making some really crazy sounds. Alright, passengers are deboarding. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I turned off one engine before I did the other one. So usually I get that if I turn the engine out, one engine off while I'm taxiing back to the gate. It'll make that noise, but that was weird. Let's see. Oh, I didn't open that. Oh, that's great. I'm going to pull open Volanta and we're going to review the flight.
Dublin ground, Shamrock Q44, parking 1Q8, request pushback and startup.
There we go, let's review the flight. Interesting how different the flight plan is. Yeah, that's weird why it went like that. Huh. Anyway, good flight. Landing rate 168, so I'm actually landing pretty decently now. 52 minutes for the flight time, block time hour 8, 171 passenger, 285 nautical miles. So a little short one after doing some two long, almost 1,000 nautical mile flights from London to Gibraltar and back. Tomorrow, hopefully, or at least the next flight, we're gonna be flying from Dublin all the way up here to Keflavik. So that's gonna be a nice long one. So if we do get a flight in tomorrow, that'll be the only one probably. Or we might do the Cairns to Brisbane. Requested flight. Alright, I'm going to bring up the world tour map. There we go. See everywhere we've been. Africa, a little bit of the Middle East. Most of Europe, we just have Ireland, Iceland, and the Faroe Islands. And today, we're clearing out Ireland. And there it is. The tricolors of Ireland. So as I said, next flight we're going to be flying up to Iceland, then we're going to go over to the Faroe Islands, and then back to Iceland, and then over to Greenland, and then back to Iceland, and then finally over to the New World. Thanks a lot for coming along on this flight. Really excited to do some more flights with this ATC. You can even still hear it talking. Let's see what's going on here. You guys are still chatting over here. Awesome. If I was born in a plane and started making that noise, I'm jumping off the air stairs. No XP tonight, so we are here. Oh, okay. So you guys are over from XP. Cool. Thanks, Fly. Been bouncing around other streamers tonight. Haven't stopped to chat with me. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. But I haven't been on. This is probably my 5th stream in the last month and a half, I think. Kaipo, from California, would you be going to Hawaii to collect the Hawaiian flag? Not to collect the Hawaiian flag, but we're going to go San Diego to Honolulu, and that's going to set us up for a flight down to, I think, Paitete in French Polynesia. So I'm not going to have a separate flag for Hawaii, but we will be flying into Hawaii. We're going to be flying to a few places in the United States because it's a big place, and I don't want to be doing 7-hour flights or 8-hour flights all the time. So we might do a few more short hops. Alright, so I'm going to just see. Let's... just going to set something up over on Twitch. Okay. Yeah. No problem. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that flight. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm gonna have to look into that. Yeah, I'd love to. It'd be really cool if they had the local accents, and if you can make them speak faster. I do hope they keep working on the voices, because otherwise everything else was really cool. Voices are a little hit and miss, but I'll take the voices. They're not terrible, and for what you're getting otherwise, it's totally worth it. All right, well, I'm gonna sign off here. Thanks for coming along on the flight. Like I said, I'm not sure what we're gonna do tomorrow. What time I'll have to be able to fly. But if I don't see you tomorrow, just keep keep an eye out on YouTube. I'll schedule stuff, and hopefully I'll stick to the schedule. Same on Twitch. I'm not sure when my next day off is. I think it's Tuesday next week, maybe Wednesday. But hope to see you then. We're going to be flying. We might do some viewer requested flights, or we'll be flying a nice long one from Ireland up to Iceland. Alright, so good night everyone, and until next time, take care and happy flying.